Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to talk about something that just came up recently. Everyone's talking about the Alberto Salazar and Farah drug scandal, all this stuff going on with these allegations and people being caught positive for PEDs in sports. Let's break this down again. I have talked to you guys quite a bit about the stuff with Victor Conte. I've explained to you guys that at one point during my youth, I used to help athletes pass their drug test for money at the university level, and this stuff is insanely easy. And Victor Conte has even said, spent time in prison for this, was indicted for this, for working with thousands and thousands of professional athletes around the world with Balco Labs, that a drug test is nothing more than an IQ test. It's a complete waste of time, that only stupid people who make mistakes or can't do their math correctly or something are the only people who ever get caught, even at the Olympic level. And that's coming from a guy who did this professionally, and the records show that he helped over 5,000 athletes pass their drug tests. And he said he's just one of dozens of guys out there doing that. People need to accept the simple reality that athletes will use drugs, they will cheat on it, and they have always done so. When you go back and you look at ancient Greece, they even wrote about the magic potions that athletes used to use to be better at their games and find ways to get an edge on other people. The simple reality is the mindset of an athlete, they can and they will use drugs. When we've done studies on people, the same question has been asked repeatedly for athletes. This study's been done over and over and over, and they're always asked if they could become number one in the world in their sport, either be recognized as the number one, whether it's winning the Super Bowl in the NFL or winning a gold medal in the Olympics. If they could be number one, would an athlete be willing to die 2 years afterwards to pay that price? If it meant that they could be number one, and the majority of serious athletes answer yes. That's a mentality that most people don't understand, because they do not understand the mentality of a champion. Someone who wants to be amazing at their sport will give everything. Now, we've demonized this because it creates great media, it creates politics, it creates something for us to talk about and sensationalize, and we like to pretend that sports are clean as a big dog and pony show, that people feel better about themselves. But the reality is, because of that, all of these athletes who do this stuff have to lie about it. They're not even cheating anymore, because it is a level playing field, because it's everybody uses in pro sports. The people with the most talent, the most ability, the most genetics, who work the hardest, win. They do better because they're all on the drugs. And even the hard work doesn't matter to a certain threshold, because drugs, one of the biggest reasons people use anabolic drugs is that they enhance recovery. They let you train harder, train longer, recover faster so that you can do it again sooner. So actually, even hard work at the professional athlete level doesn't do anything, because they don't have the drugs to facilitate the recovery otherwise. So the hard work component actually doesn't even help you beyond a certain threshold. It actually hinders you without drugs. So the hardest working athletes, to accuse someone of being the hardest working athlete, generally means they're probably on the most drugs so that they can recover from the hard work. And since these people are champions and they're willing to do anything to win, even though we've created it as an insult because of the media's demonization of these things, we've created an environment where we think it's an insult to accuse someone of using the drugs. And I will tell you that you're insulting them when you say that let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's just assume they're not using any drugs till they get caught. And I would say to you that you're insulting that athlete. You're saying that he's not a champion, that he doesn't have the mindset of a champion, that he isn't willing to do whatever it takes to win, even at the expense of his health. You're saying that he's not willing to do whatever it takes to put on a good show for his fans, for his country, for his team. When you say that that person doesn't use drugs, that you're saying that he isn't willing to sacrifice to be the best. And that is an insult. That is actually a far bigger insult than you realize. And so when people say those things, they actually have it misunderstood, because the media has warped what really goes on behind the scenes. And the truth is, someone who isn't willing to take the drugs actually isn't willing to sacrifice in order to be the best. They are not the most driven individuals. So yeah, that is actually an insult to say that an athlete isn't using PEDs of any type. That's the simple reality, and people need to understand this. And it doesn't mean that all of you should run out and take these drugs, because you shouldn't necessarily spend the money or risk your health for no trade-off. But if someone is going to be a professional athlete, their coaches are going to encourage them. The team owners who want to see the money made off of their performance are going to encourage it, and they're going to look the other way. The reality is, we don't want in professional sports for people to get caught. It's all a dog and pony show, because sports are better when the athletes are on 5 or 6 different drugs. WADA is nothing more than a dog and pony show. That's the real world. Get over it.